All right, let's dive right into one of the biggest questions on everyone's mind right now. How do you actually win in the age of AI? And hey, if you've been feeling even a little bit of anxiety about your career lately, you are definitely not alone.
I mean, we all see the headlines, we see how fast this technology is moving, and it's so easy to think, oh man, am I about to be replaced? It's a totally legitimate fear. But what if that's the completely wrong question to be asking? What if the real danger isn't the AI itself, but our own mindset?
This quote, it just flips the whole script. See, the real danger isn't about fighting some new technology. It's about getting caught trying to play by the old rules in a brand new game. And to really understand what these new rules are, we actually need to take a quick look back.
Because here's the thing, if you don't understand the history of how wealth has been created, you've got no shot at solving the mystery of how to create it today. The patterns of the past, believe it or not, they hold the key to navigating what's coming next. Just look at the pattern here, it's incredible. For thousands and thousands of years, wealth was all about land. Then, for about 200 years, it was about machines. But then, notice what happens next. The economic era starts shrinking like crazy. We went from these massive ages that lasted for millennia to ones that are practically over in a decade. The speed of change is just off the charts. I mean, really let that sink in. The entire economic model that we're building our careers on right now has a shelf life of less than 15 years. This highlights the problem perfectly. The world is changing way faster than we can adapt. We can't afford to sit back and wait. We have to jump in. And yet, here's the craziest part. So many of us are still operating with a mindset from an era that ended over 75 years ago. You know, the industrial age was a permission-based society. You needed a publisher to give you the thumbs up, or a record label to say your song was good enough. You had to ask for permission from the gatekeepers who own the factories and the machines. And this is the bottom line. The thing you have to get. Our entire education system was built to churn out employees for that industrial age. But that age is long, long gone. So if we're going to thrive, we have to create value and wealth in the era we are living in right now.
So how do we create value now? Well, the answer is actually in a really simple, timeless framework. It's called the 4 levels of value.
Okay, think of this like a ladder. 4 rungs. At the very bottom, you have implementation. You climb up one step to unification, then up again to communication, and at the absolute very top, the highest level of value is imagination. Let's break this down real quick. At the bottom, implementation. That's physical labor, using your muscles. It has a pretty clear ceiling on what you can earn. Moving up to unification, which is basically management, you get a nice bump. But then, look at this jump. When you hit communication and imagination, we're not talking about a little raise anymore. We're talking about a leap from thousands into potentially millions. And with imagination, the potential is literally unlimited. And that right there, that's the secret sauce. The top 2 levels, communication and imagination, that's where the real leverage is. This is where you stop trading your time for money and you start creating massive value from nothing more than ideas.
Okay, so what in the world does this framework have to do with AI? Well, literally everything. This is the key that transforms AI from this terrifying threat into your most powerful partner. Think about it like this. All those principles from the old economic eras, they still exist. They've just gone digital. Cyberspace, that's your new farmland to grow ideas on. Your smartphone, guess what? That's your new factory. The internet is your distribution network to the entire planet. And AI is your new partner to leverage all of it. So here's the choice. It's right in front of you. If you're operating down at the bottom of that value ladder, doing implementation tasks, then yeah, AI absolutely looks like a replacement. But if you're operating at the top, in the world of communication and imagination, AI becomes the ultimate tool to just amplify everything you do.
See, it's not you versus the machine. It's a partnership. AI brings blinding speed, it brings incredible data analysis, research, but it can't bring what you have. It doesn't have your creativity, your unique lived experience, your vision. And that is what makes the combination so insanely powerful.
I heard this quote the other day, and it just puts it perfectly. AI is the paintbrush, it's the chisel, it's the keyboard. It's an unbelievable tool for implementation. But you are the artist. You're the one with the vision, the imagination, the soul.
So what does this all boil down to? The 2 most valuable skills for you to develop right now are those 2 at the very top of that value ladder. First, your ability to imagine, to think more creatively, more vividly. And second, your ability to communicate that vision with absolute, undeniable clarity. Because here's the new reality.
Clear communication isn't just for people anymore. It is the literal instruction manual for your new AI partner. The better your words, the clearer your prompts, the better the result you're going to get from the most powerful leverage tool in all of human history.
So that fear we talked about at the beginning, the fear of being replaced, it just evaporates the moment you realize you're the one in the driver's seat. This isn't about what AI is going to do to you. It's about what you are going to do with AI. You have the tool. You are the artist. So what masterpiece will you create?